Okay, well I think all things considered, apart from a little bit of sanding of this, there's only one thing left to do. That means painting. So it requires a quick change of clothes. So here we are, painting time, pair of gloves, a load of stuff. As before, I'm going to fast forward a lot of this because it's just not that interesting. If you are interested in seeing how I paint and finish my work, check out my 6-part painting and finishing series. But I'm just going to bang through this. Everything's white eggshell. It's going to be primed then painted. As usual, I'm using a water-based acrylic primer undercoat applied with a foam roller and following it up with a water-based acrylic eggshell. With the painting set aside to dry, I'm assembling the drawer boxes, just gluing and clamping the front and back to the sides for now, as these are domino drawers. A few screws through the base into the drawer back keeps that together. Once dry and unclamped, I mark out the domino spacing on a piece of tape, then transfer this to a sliding square and mark all around the drawer. With the drawers clamped down, I can drive the domino mortises at these marks. Then glue and hammer home the 5x30mm dominoes. When the glue is set, we can trim back the excess and sand them back flush with the sides. With a simple template, we can drill through the drawer fronts for the fascia fixings and add the front and rear clips to the drawer boxes. So we've got all our drawer boxes done and finished. They're all sanded nicely. We've got drilled them for the front fascias. Clips are all on. We're all looking good. Everything that needs painting has had a couple of coats of paint. So I think we'll start with the assembly. We'll get the drawer box together first, and then we'll get the legs, the supports in place. So the actual construction of the little cabinet is very straightforward. It's a basic MDF box, much like all the others I've done. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll be familiar with it. One thing I have done with this is I've just put a little sort of pencil mark against the mortises that mate together, just to make life a little bit easier. I mean, the plates I use, they are pretty central, but if you get them swapped around the other way, it could make life a little bit difficult. It can throw things off very slightly. So we'll just press on with that, and we'll get everything together. Now the sharp-eyed amongst you will have noticed that there were a couple of the top edges that I hadn't painted the outside of the cabinet here. So I've just put a dab of paint on those, and while that's drying, I'm actually going to put the leg sections together. So here we've got the drawer runners, which we're going to fit into this is the left-hand section of the left-hand leg. The right hand section on the left hand leg. And we're just going to fit the runners and fit the centre sections in, and then we'll get the other little fixings and fittings in to get those all together. Now, one of the things that has happened after painting is that these the holes we pre-drilled have swollen slightly during the painting, so that when you put a runner actually on them, even though they line up with the holes, they rock very slightly. So we just need to sand those back a little. So remember I said at the start we was going to use these little button fixings to fix the side panels of the leg supports on. I'm actually going to fix the buttons on now, just because it's going to be easier to do than it will be when we get the sort of the pull-out section in. So I'll just pop those in. They're just screwed in. They're really simple and easy to do. The buttons simply fix in place with a single screw and the brackets with two, and once these are fixed it's easy to refix the pull-out centre sections to the runners. Now, if you remember, one of the other things we have to do here is to fit a little wheel, underneath here. So this is off the ground and it's actually the little wheel that takes any pressure on the front extension when that front flap folds down. And all we're going to do, we're just going to screw this in. I'll mark the positions up there, and we're just going to screw that in straight through into the into this pull-out section. Now, you might not know this, but one of the things I do as like a party piece is actual mind reading, and I can tell from here that right now you're thinking I'm an idiot because that 12mm half-inch MDF is going to split. No, it won't. So with a little bit of 12mm scrap, I'm marking up the positions exactly as they will be in the real thing. I'm literally just going to take a little awl, a brad awl, and just put a teensy little hole in there. And I'm going to do the same on the other one. We're not pushing this all the way in because that will definitely split it. Just something to start. I'm going to take a 2mm drill bit. I'm going to carefully drill in all the way. Then I'm going to take a couple of these 3mm by 30mm screws. Remember, we've got a 2mm pilot hole and a 3mm screw. Okay, a little bit closer. We might have to nip that up tight. That's not bad actually, with just a screwdriver. But that's it. Can you see that focus? No splitting around there at all. That's literally all it takes. A pilot hole and an appropriately sized screw. No splitting. Never any splitting.